we have 4 simple rules. Number 1, we don't discuss politics, ever. Number 2, this is not a religious channel, and while you might hear people say, God bless you, or I'm going to pray for you, or I wouldn't have gotten through this without my faith, that's fine. What's not fine is to say, my God is better than your God, or here's why you're not getting into heaven. It's not going to fly. Number 3, we believe wholeheartedly if you can't control your tongue, then you can't control your life. So while on board, there's not going to be any cursing in the live chat, period. And number 4, there is no room for mean people on the lifeboat. Because we discuss very sensitive things from people's past in our group setting, we got to protect those people. The only way they feel confident and comfortable discussing those things is in an environment that is free of trolls and mean people. So if you're a mean person or you're a troll, we're going to block you for life. And if your account happens to be less than 24 hours old, we're probably a little suspicious right from the word go. Why? Well, because there are people in this world who enjoy being cruel solely for the sake of being cruel. It's not going to fly here. But if you're here because you're trying to get sober and live your best life, then you might find that the lifeboat is just that, a lifeboat. I'm Captain Tommy Scoville, and we will see you on deck.
Hey guys, what's up? What's happening? Hope everybody is having a good one today. Hope everybody's having a good weekend, at least a start to it. I need to shut off my internet on my phone real quick, guys. Give me one quick second. I'm going to try to stay a little bit more focused tonight, guys. And, you know, that is what it is. But I was squirreling pretty bad the last one. And, guys, I've fought that since I was a kid. I mean, I've flunked speech class and everything else. It's just something about getting in front of people I've always struggled with. But anyway, somebody give me a 5 for 5 in there. I haven't looked at the chat yet. If you guys have done that, thank you. I appreciate you. I got kind of a new little setup going on with my computer here. I got a couple different computers going now because it's hard to do this, produce the show with just one screen. I'm trying to do it with 2 now. And so if I have some hiccups here, I do apologize. It's not my intent to do that. But hopefully everybody is doing good. And we are 5 for 5. Thank you, Miss V. I appreciate you. Everybody, if you could take a second, guys, and share the stream real quick, I would really appreciate it. You know, I do that every stream, and it seems like the times that I forget, we definitely see a difference in the numbers. So it does help. I know that for sure. So if anybody could just send it out to their Facebook, to their, you know, all your social media stuff, you know. It's always good just to get that word out and to try to get everybody here so we can help as many people as we can. You know, and it, yeah. So that's what we need to be doing, and that's the whole goal of what we do here. So I really would appreciate it if you guys could do that for me. So, yeah. But, so, yeah. So what are we talking about tonight? If you guys read the thumbnail, obviously, what are our options for, you know, starting addiction recovery for ourselves or someone else that we love? All right? There's a whole lot of options, guys. And there's a whole lot more than what there used to be. Okay? Yeah. There are so many options. And I think that that's a great thing because most of us, we don't know what to do at first. Right? Even if it's for ourselves or if it's for somebody that we love. And when it's somebody that we love, it's almost more important, you know what I mean, to us. When we're talking about whatever we need to talk about, it's more important for those that we love to get help than it is for ourselves at some level. At least that's how I feel. You know, you might not feel that way. Don't know. If you do, you know, you just feel how you feel, right? But I think that we've pointed you guys in the right direction, but I don't think that we have really like shown you places to what, you know, where you could go. We have the numbers down there, obviously. We got the SAM, I forget the initials all the time, MHSA, that's the drug addiction or the addiction hotline. And then we got, the suicide line, which always comes into play in this conversation. Okay? It can't not ever come into the conversation here. It has to be there. Because that's just one thing that follows, right? This is one thing that, when we start talking about that end of this, some people get to the point, and most of us, at least once or twice in our life, get to that point where we think, man, am I really just going to stick around for this kind of stuff? And it's the wrong mindset, right? And our addiction can kind of push us that way in a very, very quick and severe manner. And that, guys, once people make a decision like that, you can't come back from that. That's why that has to be talked about. You can't fix a drug addict or an alcoholic if they're not here anymore. Whether it was from a self-inflicted type of thing, I'm not going to say the word because it does hit the algorithm and it doesn't like it. Or it comes from our addiction itself takes us out of this world. And most of the time, we're leaving behind people that we love, and we love them a lot. And that's what makes it so, oh man, it makes it so hard, because you don't want to offend somebody that you love, but at some point, you have to push that to the side. Because it's more important to get them in the right headspace. Like I said, if they're not here anymore, you can't fix anything. So you got to get to the root of it. And for most people, like when we're talking about addiction, obviously that's what we would consider like rock bottom. I know we hear that phrase a lot. I don't typically, say that a whole lot, because it is a phrase that gets used a lot. And I think it gets used in the wrong way sometimes. People fall back to that phrase, right? And it loses some of its power because it gets said so much. It is a very real thing to be rock bottom, guys. So don't say rock bottom if you're not, because you will lose some of that power of that word if you continually say those kinds of things. And and these words that I'm talking about, we need to be able to recognize that too when we're speaking to our loved ones. All right? When you hear your loved ones say that, it's not easy to hear. It's not easy to hear at all. Especially if it's somebody like your child. If it's an adult that is around your same age and stuff, it's a little easier to hear that because you can understand, you relate, right? We've all been teenagers, so we can relate to our kids in that way. So we know what that feels like. So let's not forget, especially when we're talking about our kids, let's not forget what that felt like. And what that will do, that will open your mind up to where they're at. Because most of us are around 20, 25, maybe 30 years older than our children. So what that means is what they're experiencing, we haven't experienced that age for 25 to 30 years. We forget. We forget what that feels like. We forget how hard it can be to be a teenager, or to be a child, or to be a young adult, period. We can't forget that, because for most of us that are here, we got into our addiction at that age. So we know that is one of the most critical time frames for our kids. So don't be afraid to bring up getting people help when you're talking about your kids, even if they're adults. If you have to say it, say it. All right? If it needs said, it needs said. There's no other way to say it. Sometimes you just got to be blunt about it. I mean straight to the point. But also, it's a thin line. Most of us know what we can say to the people that we love and not go across that line. Every once in a while, we'll make that mistake. But when we're talking about the rock bottom, the line's gone. Okay? At that point, that line is not there. You need to be saying any and everything you can to get that person some help if you think they are rock bottom. Or if you think you are. You can get yourself help. Right? not everybody has people. Not everybody has a great support system like I have here at my house. Right? My wife is my best friend. All three of my kids love me. I know this. Right? I know they do. How? Not because they say it, but because they show it. They really do. For example, and I'm going to bring this up because I'm actually proud of this. It's a good thing. Yesterday, I was taking a nap, right? And my son comes into my bedroom, and my son doesn't live with me, right? He's 26 years old. He's on his own. And he says, "Hey, I got you something." And I haven't seen I don't see my son but maybe once a week, maybe twice, because, he works and, life is life, right? We get that. And I go in there, and I'm a huge video game person, right? Excuse me, guys. I'm a huge video game person. So what does that mean? That means that I play video games, and most of them are old school, right? I do play some newer ones. I like some. If anybody's into video games, they're going to know what I'm talking about. Like with Elden Ring is one of the most popular ones right now. You got Zelda, the new ones, the new Pokemons, all that stuff, right? But I started video games when it was Atari, right? And the box is across the room where I'd go get it. But my son heard me talk about that, and I was trying to. I had an old Atari that the cord was broke on it. The AV jack cord, and I tried to fix it, and it was you couldn't fix it. It was broke. I couldn't even resolder the lines or anything. And it was only like $10 or $15 at the store when I bought it, so it wasn't a big deal, other than the fact that I could no longer play my games that I wanted to, right? So he comes and gets me out of my room and says, "Hey, I got you something." And he shows me this Atari. And I had just mentioned it. I didn't rave over it or anything like that. Now, I told you that big, long story for one reason. He didn't just tell me he loved me. He didn't have to even say it when he did that. Matter of fact, he didn't say, "I love you, Dad, here you go." He said, "Hey, man, I got this for you." That's love, guys. That's love in action. That's love showing itself. And it made me realize, and I'm going to reference Rip's interview too here in just a minute, but it made me realize that maybe I don't show it enough. Okay, because let's face it, when you're in addiction recovery, a lot of things in your life become nothing more than just about you. Whether we want to sit here and admit any of that, it is the truth. Okay, you can't get any further in your life, in your addiction process, recovery, unless you do focus on you. But for somebody like myself, 10 years now, almost 11, and that time frame is going to be different for everybody, but it's time for me to start showing that love to everybody else. And that's one of the big reasons why I'm still here on the lifeboat. The second that I become ineffective of helping anybody at all, you won't see me again. That's my purpose here. And it should be everybody's purpose in life, period. Okay, if we can't help others, then, it's just what it is. You can't overlook that fact. You have to fix that about yourself. And I get, like I said, sometimes you got to step back and concentrate on yourself. And you're going to see a time come that you're going to realize, hey, it's no longer about me right now. It is about me, but it's not. So it's about me showing my family love that I didn't show them when I was completely addicted. And that was my love, was my drug of choice. Right? So, I want everybody to really understand that. And here's the thing. When I was listening to Rip the other night on the interview, and, he talked about some really, really personal, deep things there. And obviously, he's not going to share everything because you just don't need to. You just want people to understand, right? You don't want to disrespect somebody, especially when they're no longer here. In any way, even if it was an accident. But it made me realize that maybe I haven't put forward enough the importance of trying to help somebody else in addiction as far as the people that are right next to me. Right? I'm out here on the internet with Tommy all day long, every day, right? And we're trying to help everybody. What I'm saying is, if you're out here trying to help everybody on the internet like we are, but you look to the other seat on the couch, and that person needs help, and you ignore it, because you got to go do your life or whatever, you shouldn't do that. You have to make sure that your own little environment is there. You have to keep it there. And you have to be able to step back, look at things in a open-minded way. And for your kids, for the most part, guys, it's going to be little things that they say that you're going to have to pay attention enough to pick up on. Because I promise you, if you have any kids or any like really close loved ones or even best friends that are having issues that haven't been brought to the front yet, they're not just going to come out and bluntly say it. You're going to have to notice it. Okay? And I know that this is a big responsibility, but that's what we do for people that we love. Now, I'm not saying that we can't make mistakes, and I'm not saying we can't miss things, because obviously we're all human, and that's what we do. That's what we do. It's life. You know? But at the same time, there is a sense of responsibility that we all need to have. We have to have that. We have to. So, if you get yourself help, and then you don't know where to go to get somebody else help, and I know that sounds like a ridiculous statement to make, but oftentimes it's the truth. Because when we get into help, most of us don't care where we're at. We just care that we're getting help. And most of us don't even really care how we get through the first part of the process. We just don't want to feel sick anymore at the beginning. So, and I'm going to show you guys some stuff here tonight. It's going to be, just some subtopics here, but there's some websites and stuff I'm going to turn you guys on to, and there's so many of them, guys. So many of them. And we concentrate on the two that I have down there in the bottom right, or left side, I guess is where it's at. Yeah, I think it's on the left side of the screen. Obviously the suicide helpline, and then you got the National Drug Addiction Hotline. And at any time, guys, you guys can call them, right? And they'll get you help somewhere, no matter where you're at. And I want you guys also to understand that that's, me and Tommy, we try to play that role too, a little bit. A lot, actually. Okay, people that need help, they don't know where to go, they can reach out, and if they're not comfortable talking to these addiction centers or whatever, they can come to us, and we can try to help walk you guys through this process. And it's not, and there's a lot of nuances here, and I'm not going to be able to talk about all of it. It's such a huge topic that we can't list everything. So what I'm going to do, give me 1 second. I'm going to try to get this graphic up here. Let me do this real quick. If you guys could just bear with me here. Let's do that. Hit the screen. Okay, maybe that'll work. We'll see. Maybe not. Let's try. 1 second, guys. I think I got it here, but my face is going to go away for a minute, but it's only because I want you guys to be able to read this. I don't want it to be like somebody looking on their phone. We've had that issue in the past, So yeah. So here we go. I'm gonna transfer this over to the current scene here, and so you got treatment info, right? So what we're looking at here, guys, these are all the different kinds of things that you're going to run into on some of these websites. Okay, and each one of these, and I'm going to show you the website here in a minute, has a link right where these topics are. Okay, and we're just going to read down through this for a second. Let me take a drink real quick. Okay, hold on 1 second, guys. I need to Sorry about that, guy. I'm gonna fix that real quick, okay? It wasn't. I'm not sure if you guys are seeing the whole picture there. I want to make sure before we move forward. Okay, I think it was all there. I think I had it there from the beginning. Guys, trying to do the tech stuff and try to do the show at the same time. It gets a little complicated sometimes, but doing the best I can. Anyway, so we're gonna go ahead and read down through these things, and and I know that this might not be the most how can I say this entertaining topic, because it tends, me and Tommy have been talking about this a little bit, that we got when we go back and look at some of our videos, the ones that really get the bigger views are the ones that where we're talking about really, really real stuff, and that when you're talking about addiction, that becomes a lot of negative stuff, right? And I get it, okay, but we have to try to sprinkle in positivity too, and stuff like this. This is kind of like the nuts and bolts of what needs to happen, right? And then we all know that the nuts and bolts isn't the most exciting topic. We want to talk about how we feel and all that, but how can we get to a place where we can go to these places and get help and talk about how we feel, right? So that's what we're trying to do. That's what I'm trying to do with this anyway. Whether I'm successful with this or not, that's yet to be seen. Don't know. But, so, let me, you know what? I think I'm just going to pull my face back here. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm sorry. I'm OCD too, in case you guys didn't know that. I'm sure you probably did already. I'll tell you what. We'll go half screen here. And, I want you guys to let me know if you guys can see it. How about that? Wrong way. And yeah, trying to run the tech stuff and do the show at the same time, it's not the easiest chore to do, just so you know. Okay, let's do, part of my face won't be there, but most of it will. So I know you guys, and I get it, you don't like, it's hard to watch something where somebody's talking and nobody's sitting there, so I get it. Okay, hopefully that works, and then I'll pull the picture over to the other side here in just a second, and we'll look at the other part of the list. So anyway, you got your inpatient rehab. Obviously, we all pretty much know what that is, right? That would be, any kind of hospital, any kind of, there's big ones, there's small ones, there's a lot of those. Then you got your outpatient rehab, which, believe it or not, guys, I'm almost 11 years, and that's where I go. It's an outpatient rehab clinic, okay? It doesn't mean that I'm, there every day, because I'm not. Matter of fact, I don't even hardly go there. We do our groups and stuff on a Zoom call. So, and COVID started all that. But, yeah. Anyway. So, yeah. So, you got your outpatient rehab, and that's where I go now. But, yeah. So, then we got the intensive outpatient programs. That would probably, I really don't even know exactly what that one is. So, I'm not going to speak to that one, what they're trying to get to there. Then you got inpatient versus outpatient rehabs. They try to compare it. You know what, guys? I think I might just pull up this website, just let you guys see it the way that I'm looking at it. It might be easier that way than to try to do it this way. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to bring the window up. That way you guys can see it. I don't think I'm being very successful trying to get this across. So I'm going to make sure you guys see this. All right. Just about got it. Just about. Okay, so I'm going to transfer this over here, and that way you guys can see what I'm looking at. And it's that half of that page is going to be cut off there, but I'm looking at this list. Okay, It says treatment info. I'm sure you guys can see that. So you got in-house rehab, inpatient rehab. You've got outpatient rehab, intensive outpatient programs, inpatient, outpatient rehab. It's got all these topics, right? All these places where we can go to get help during and after rehab. Now, again, I'm showing you guys this because this is just one of the places you can go. You see all the places, all the options here that you guys got, that anybody's got? Interventions there, treatment process. This thing will walk you through a lot of it. If you got somebody that you're trying to help, this is actually a good place to, like, hey, take a look at this. Even if you got to give them the website and walk away for a minute, let them come to the conclusion, because sometimes that works. Not always, but I like something they said over here, and I'm going to show you what they said here. If I can get it back up on screen. Let's because me and Tommy say this a lot. And that's really the reason why I'm bringing this up, this part of it. Okay, I'm not sure if you guys can see this or not. Let's check. Yeah, you guys can see that. Anyway, if you see the statement here, it says, I know some of it's cut off, but I'm going to read it for you. It says, remember, there is no such thing as a one-size-fits-all approach to addiction. Whichever treatment path you choose, be sure that it has everything you need to help you achieve a successful recovery. So what do you guys think about that? Right? I mean, ain't that what we kind of do here? I mean, honestly, ain't that what we do? And, you know, I just think that this gets overlooked a lot. I really do. I mean, we can't say it enough, right? It's your path, guys. It's whatever path somebody wants to choose. And everybody's path can be different to the end result, which would be living a good life. Notice I didn't say any of the just getting clean, right? Because that ain't what we're trying to do, right? Most of us are trying to get clean so we can live our best life. That second part gets overlooked. Me and Tommy, we stress it. You guys have heard us say it a lot, right? And you're going to hear us say it more. You will. So, but anyway, guys. So there are some options, right? And what are you looking at? Like I said, guys, you're looking at all those different subtopics there that you guys can go look at. And this is the stuff. This is just one website. Simple Google search. The number, I'm not sure if you guys can see the number or not. If you can't, I'm going to bring it down there for you so you can. Give me 1 second. And again, guys, running this thing while you're trying to do a show is not easy. I'm going to just say that. I mean, I know I know people can't understand unless they know that. They wouldn't know it unless they tried to do it. And that's what I'm trying to do. And I have a hard time staying focused anyway. So doing this and trying to talk at the same time it's a little difficult. But anyway, there is your number should be popping up there real quick. It's the 1-833-493-0279. This is Addiction Center. Okay. And again, guys, this is just one avenue that you can go down. I'm not telling anybody to go down any avenue. You guys do what you want and do all that, you know. But yeah, so once you guys figure out what you want to do on that end of it, then you can progress to the other. And that's what we have to do. We have to take it one step at a time. But you have to be able to get yourself to a point where that you're comfortable going and following through with what you're doing. Because it's not going to do you any good if you go into it with the expectation of not finishing it. Now, I'm not saying you're going to start it and maybe possibly fail the first few times, because that happens a lot. But you always have to go into it looking as if you're going to 100% succeed every time. If you don't, you might as well not even try it, because it won't work. You have to go into it with that mindset. And I think that, everybody here in the chat, everybody that's ever listened to what we're talking about, I think you guys understand that that's what we try to do. I just want you guys to understand how important you guys are to us. You guys are. And when you guys have issues, guess what? It's our issue too. And we want to be there to help you. And that's why I'm showing you this, because there are going to be those times where it's going to be the middle of the night and maybe you need to speak to somebody like right now. And, if everybody's in bed and our phones are shut off, we're not going to know, right? These are the places you can go. Okay? In that situation. These people are 24/7. Most facilities like this are. Okay? And you have to understand that. Don't think just because the rest of the world shut down because of all the C+ math. Yeah, these people didn't. So. But anyway, guys, yeah. Okay, guys. So, you guys got anything going on? That's pretty much all I had for you as far as the topic. I know it's Saturday night. I don't expect a whole lot of people here, and I get it. But if you guys are, yeah. Thanks, Leisure. I appreciate you, bud. I really do. I appreciate all you guys. I honestly do. And I know that sometimes I don't do the best speaking job. I understand that. Which is why Tommy's in the front. All right? We know our lane, right? I'm decent on the technical end of it. He's not so technical savvy. I'm not the best public speaker. If anybody has ever been over to my channel, Wages World, a lot of you guys came from there. I get that. But you're going to understand that I'm not on camera over there. You want to know why? I don't know why. I still do. I still get nervous. There's absolutely nobody in front of me right now. But just knowing somewhere in my head that I'm talking to a camera, it messes with me. And I'm doing, oh man, if you'd have known me 10 years ago, oh wow. This is some of the stuff where I'm squirreling around like this sometimes. It was worse then, I promise. So anyway, like I said, I said all that just so you guys understand that, I really do care, and I really do try, and I try to do the best that I can. And it's all for just trying to help everybody involved. And I just want you, I honestly do want you guys to understand that we give a lot of ourselves. We put it out there, and that's okay. We understand that. And I can take criticism. I really can. And especially when it's honest, respectful criticism. And I'm sure tonight you're looking at it now, and if you were to look at my last one where I did it by myself, I was all over the place. And I made sure tonight, and I didn't have a whole lot of time to prep, and that wasn't Tommy's fault. That was me. Probably both of us a little bit. But at the same time, I'm a little bit more structured tonight, and and it helps me to have a visual, which is why I put those up there, guys. I know that, yeah, that's pretty much why I do it. I want you guys to be able to see it too, but it's more for me, and I'm just being honest. It helps me stay on track onto a specific subject, because we can get off on the side. I mean, Tommy does it once in a while, but usually it's for a good reason. And like somebody will say something in the chat. Hey, thanks, Seventh. I appreciate you, brother. I really do. You guys are, that's what I'm saying, guys. You guys are so awesome. And all the stuff that we've been through on this channel already, I have to tell you that it's all been worth it. It really has. I've gained so... Daggone it, Seventh, you're killing me, man. But, yeah, now you got me squirreling, man. Me and Tommy, we've talked this subject before, and you guys mean so much to us, and when we come out here, we give a lot of ourselves. We put it out there, but we understand that we can be wrong, right? So if I'm not performing to the best that I can, I want somebody to tell me. I really do. I do. So when that, don't ever be afraid to say, hey man, you were all over the place. Because guys, most of the time, by the time I'm done, I usually know if I've been all over the place or not. It's pretty obvious when I am, But like I said, I put the graphics and stuff up there for you guys to see it too. But for me, like when I'm actually speaking, it gives me some sort of an outline. And I don't like to do a script, even though I squirrel. And the reason why I don't want to do a script, because then it comes off as just not as real. Okay? I guess that's the best way to put it. I want you guys to get the way that I feel about a subject. I want you guys to feel that. I want to be able to understand what you guys are saying. And having a script kind of takes some of that away. So I don't like doing that. Now, having an outline, which is basically what I use those graphics for, that's a different thing. Okay, it's basically just a sticky note, and you're like, hey, don't forget to talk about this, dummy. Or do it in this order because it makes more sense that way. Right? There's also another factor. Like I said, I have a family. And, I'm on the East Coast, and 9 o'clock on a Saturday night isn't necessarily the best time for me to be on the internet. Right? So what I'm saying is that, not that I'm not complaining about that. I'm just saying that there's stuff going on around me all the time. So it does kind of, I do this a lot and all that. Now, I've consciously tried not to do that tonight, and you guys have probably seen a big difference. And I have to tell myself over and over, hey, slow down, don't forget your thought, don't lose your thought, all that. I mean, I literally flunked speech class when I was in high school because I refused to get up in front of that class for 2 to 3 minutes and I would write the speech out and it would be, written really well. Matter of fact, I'm a good writer. But getting up in front of somebody has always been an issue for me. And so if you see me squirreling, don't be afraid to throw a squirrel in there like you guys were. Okay? It does. It'll bring me back to center. And I've asked Tommy to do a few things too. We spoke about this a little bit. I tend to, when I'm talking to somebody, my eyes will wander. I won't look at them. And that's an issue for me. I don't want to do that because it puts off like I'm not paying attention. Or I'm always, and what it is I'm actually trying to stay on point. My eyes are wandering up over here because I'm trying to find and stay there. Find that thought and keep it there. So I've been trying to work on these things as far as, in the background and stuff. And Tommy's has some really good suggestions. I'm going to put a circle up here around my webcam, like bright orange. So I know if I look there, I'm looking into the camera, talking to you guys. Great suggestions. He did a lot of public speaking, and anybody that would ignore somebody like that on that subject would be ridiculous. You know what I mean? So I say all that, guys, because I want you guys to understand that I am doing the 100% best I can, and I know that I'm not Tommy when I come out here. I get it. I do. And you're not going to hurt my feelings, with criticisms or whatever. You just won't. So I just want you all to know that. And I appreciate everybody that comes here and even takes the time out of their day to listen to anything I have to say. So that's where that's at. So let me get over here to the chat a little bit here, guys. You guys got anything you guys got going on? I was just wondering if you were okay. I just been busy. Okay. Okay. Leisure, so glad. But yeah, guys, I do appreciate your guys' patience with me sometimes, and I know that sometimes it takes a lot. You guys like my Kool-Aid cup? I think I showed it to you before, maybe. My wife got me that for Christmas. You guys want to know why? I'm not sure if I ever shared this with you guys or not, but her friend has a Cricut, and she makes these things. She can make personalized cups. And what that is, that's a Kool-Aid man. And the reason why my name's Kool-Aid Man is because when I was 500 pounds, when I wore a red shirt, I looked like the Kool-Aid Man. That was a running joke here. So it just kind of stuck. Why am I blue Kool-Aid over on my other channel? You want to know why that is? Because regular Kool-Aid and red Kool-Aid was taken. They wouldn't let me have that name. So that's how blue Kool-Aid came about. But anyway, guys. So we've been going, what, here for almost 45 minutes? You guys got anything? Oh, you're welcome, Alan. I appreciate you, bud. I'm on the weekend, Alan. I'm glad because we don't get to talk to you a whole lot because of your work schedule, and we do get to see you more on the weekends. And it's nice to see you, man. Thanks, Charlie. I appreciate you. Joanna, you're awesome. Charlie, you're awesome. Seventh, Stacy. Guys, you guys are all awesome. Oh, you wondered about that, did you, Joanne? Yeah, it's a story I don't tell a whole lot of people. I'm not afraid to tell it. I just don't. It's been a while since I've been that big. I had bariatric surgery, and like I said before, I lost a fat man, and I'm still a fat man. So, back at you, Alan. See, this is what I'm talking about, guys. We build relationships, right? And the relationships that we build that we don't expect, like the one that me and Alan has, because of the interview he came on with, I was able to talk to him in the background more so than I would most, right? And it helps you get to know people, and when you do that, you're able to help people more if you take the time and really listen to what they say. And not only are you going to help them, they're going to help you. And I know I said this a bunch, but helping you guys helps me. That is one of the biggest parts of my recovery. And I'm not kidding. The biggest part was my wife and my kids and my family. Okay? A close second is helping other people. And I'm not kidding about that. That's, for me, when I prioritize things, that's how it works. And not everybody prioritizes things the same way as I do. Some people don't have the benefit of being able to do that. I get it. But for me, that's where it's at. And that's why, that's why we're so dedicated to this, because we believe what we're doing. We believe in you guys. And if we didn't think we could help somebody, we wouldn't be here anymore. And that's the truth. And it's because of you guys that gives us that confidence to come out here, because you guys are giving of yourselves too. Hey, Miss Hermit, good to see you. So, yeah. You're welcome, Alan. Guys, anytime, listen, and I know because we've had conversations with people that were kind of wondering if they wanted to do an interview. Well, Alan says the interview was amazing. He said, you were really helpful to calm my nerves. Thank you. Right? And thanks for saying that, Alan. And why I repeated that was because if you guys think that you're going to come on an interview and just get like beat up or be really nervous, we're not going to let you be nervous, okay? We're going to do anything and everything we can to make it as comfortable for you as we possibly can. Because the point isn't to just come on and tell somebody's story. When somebody comes on and does an interview, sometimes it's not even for people that are listening. It's for that person sometimes that's doing the interview. That person there, like when Alan come on and did his, I'm not sure if this was his experience or not. I don't expect it to be. That the person doing the interview probably got more out of it than, and I'm not talking about Alan specifically. Okay, guys, I want to make that perfectly clear. I'm just talking about on a grand scale here, that sometimes that person gets more out of it than the people listening. Because they're able to voice things that they haven't voiced before. And you'll surprise yourself. Because you'll come on here and you'll start talking, and before you know it, because you're looking at me and Tommy. That's all you're looking at. And me and Tommy are both, we are really, really accepting of everybody. And we really do put off a good calming vibe when we're talking to people. And that's, not only is that intentional, but it's not intentional. That's just who we are. It goes back to the whole thing of trying to help people. So when you come on to do an interview, sometimes you're helping yourself way more than you're helping anybody else. And that's worth it to us. I'm not kidding. It is. If nobody in the audience got anything from it, and you walked out of it with something, that's worth it to me and Tommy. And I have to tell you that the conversations we have after the interviews with the people that do the interviews are awesome. That is what keeps us driven to keep going, because it validates that we are helping people. And I know that we see it every day in the chat, but when you're able to physically talk, right? And that's something else I was going to mention tonight. I am working in the background here. It's proven to be a little bit more complicated than what I thought it was going to be to get a call-in show going. That's what we're going to do. So if anybody has questions, or if anybody just pops in, they can call, and we're going to work that out as far as the specifics. But it is proving to be a little bit more difficult. I don't want you guys to think that we've forgot about that, because I am working on it in the background. There is a lot of stuff there that we have to do, so we want to try to eliminate, the troll stuff as much as we can. We're never ever going to be able to get rid of all of it. But at the same time, we want to make sure that, we're not going to come on here, and if we recognize somebody's voice or any of that kind of thing, we want to be able to hear them before they go live. That's what will happen. Okay? Somebody calls in, the first word they say ain't going to be live. They're going to probably be talking to me. And that's kind of what I'm saying. So it's kind of like a screening type of thing. But, we're not screening for the subject matter. We just want to make sure that everybody's, calling in with a legitimate question. So anyway, that's for the future. I just wanted to let you guys know that that's what we're working towards. So I do think that would, I do think a lot of people will enjoy that. I honestly do. And let me say this. You know where I got the idea from that? Marfoogle. Honestly. I've told Tommy this. I'm trying to imitate in a lot of ways what they're doing on their channel, because it works. Simple as that. The formula they got going on over there on Marfoogle News works. So if you guys don't know who Adam Marfoogle and Dex are, go over to Marfoogle TV, Marfoogle News, check them out. You won't be sorry. I promise you that. It's alternative news, and they give you sources for everything that they say. So everything they say is backed up by an article or some research, any of that stuff. It's all there. They have a website. I mean, it's well put together. It's well organized. And I can tell you right now, that didn't happen overnight. That was a lot of hard work for those guys in the background. Because I'm seeing just what little I'm seeing of a call-in show is there's some hurdles I got to overcome technically, on the technical aspect of it. And I'm not stopping on it. I'm going to keep moving on it. And we're going to make it happen. And also, I'm going to, for me that watch my other channel, I actually have my wife bought me some green fabric, so I'm making a green screen. So I'm going to have that. And Tommy probably will at some point, I'm sure. That's not our focus here, right? Our focus isn't so much what it looks like. It's more about what's being said. But we also understand that what it looks like matters to people that are just now getting here. The people that have been here, like you guys right now, you guys probably don't care a whole lot about what this all looks like, right? But somebody that's just, they picked it up in their feed, right? So it was just recommended to them. And they click on it and they see, I don't know. I mean, my Yoda dude's back here. I got R2. I set this little scene up just to give a little something back there. But if they see like a blank white wall or something like that, I mean, you almost know right away, because it gives off that feeling like they don't care. And most people will click off of that. So we understand that ain't the most important thing, but it does matter. So I just wanted to point that out. Yeah, Dex is brilliant, isn't he, Seventh? Yeah, Holly. Yeah, for sure, man. That's good stuff. Miss Hermit, that's awesome. And that's the thing, guys. What you guys are going to figure out, you probably already have, that people with the like-minded stuff, like just being positive, trying to do the best you can, being honest, that kind of thing, we all find each other. And if you notice the channels that we all talk about, they end up being about the same people because they're all honest, trying to do the right thing. And those of us that don't have a huge channel like, Marf's channel, Marfugal News, it's getting bigger. It's a bigger channel. I'm not calling it small by no means, guys. I mean, it's 160 or 180,000, getting close to that now. But we can't forget to mention them too. We can't forget to share out their videos, all that stuff, and we often do because we don't think it matters. We already think that everybody's already watching them because they're bigger than us, right? Well, we can't think that way. We have to keep helping everybody, and then we all get better, right? Anyway, am I going to do a live soon? We're supposed to be having, and I'm just going to touch on this, and then we're going to end the stream tonight, unless somebody has something going on tonight. I may end up doing a show if we get a geomagnetic storm. We've had some really crazy stuff happen on the sun, but we also have some unexpected conditions as far as low geomagnetic conditions that are happening that are rare. And it's not good or bad, it's just something odd. But anyway, I may be doing a live here in the next day or two. Probably, I'm trying to once I get my green screen and stuff set up, I'm going to try to get it down to a 5 to 10 minute update every day or every other day, and then throw in some live streams probably in the middle of the night, because that's usually when I do them. That'll be good for Alan. He's across the pond. Ain't that right, Alan? And Niall's over there too. She's over there. A lot of you guys, we got a lot of overseas viewers, but yeah. So, you guys got anything for me, guys? I know it's getting close to the top of the hour there. Oh, guys, yeah, I want to say a special thanks to Rip too. Okay, Rip Curl. Guys, what he talked about the other night, I mean, wow. Okay, if you ever doubted that man wants to share and help people, you don't doubt it anymore. Because, I mean, he touched on some deep stuff. He really did. He's coming back. And it was an area of the addiction process that we haven't really featured a whole lot of, if any. He gave us some insight on what his late wife was going through during his addiction and through everything else, and how he handled that and all that. And I would encourage everybody, please go watch that interview, please. And guys, we don't really look at the views. We do, but we don't. I mean, we're trying to help, right? That's our focus. And the only thing that the views are doing for us is validating that people are watching. That's all that is. But I really would love to see you guys go check that out. Those that haven't, so please go do. And it'll help you, is what I'm trying to say. He shared some deep stuff that most people would not even be coming on here saying 2 words about. And he's going to be coming back on, kind of giving us a perspective from his children's point of view, which I may do that myself for my own here too, also in the future, because I want to give that point of view from my kids and from my wife and all that stuff too. I want to give it the due credit and the attention that it needs, because all of us, when we're going through this stuff, we all go through it a little bit different. Like I said, like this thing said earlier, it's not let me read that again for you guys. It says, remember, there is no such thing as a one-size-fits-all approach to addiction recovery. Which treatment path you choose, be sure that it has everything you need to help you achieve a successful recovery. Now, the last part of that, it sounded kind of corporate. I get it, right? But the first part of that is 100% true. There is no such thing as a one-size-fits-all approach to addiction recovery. That's 1000% true. So, anyway, guys, yeah. So I am going to go ahead and kick off here, guys. Again, emails, description box, mine, Tommy's, Facebook group, all those things are down there. Go check out Rip's video, please. The interview. Share it out to everybody you can. Share it to your Facebook, all your Facebook friends. That interview there, that's one that you could send out and not worry about somebody coming back to you saying, "Oh, that was kind of crazy." No, they won't, because it's real, okay? And you might be shocked on who needs to hear that kind of stuff. It's probably going to be people in your friend group or on your Facebook, whatever, that you didn't think would ever need to hear any of that. And they're the ones that needed to hear it the most. So don't be afraid to share that kind of stuff. That's what I'm kind of saying. But yeah. All right, guys. I am going to go ahead and kick off here. God bless you. Go out and try to save somebody. Prayers for everybody. Love you guys. And, you can drink this Kool-Aid. I'm going to drink this one. How about that? Sound good? Anyway, guys, God bless.